G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. We already had to start this video. Steve's with me.
Hi everybody.
It's a mess. Brace yourselves. Steve's here. We're doing a bit of a weird format today where instead of doing the voiceover afterwards, Steve's just going to live chat while we're doing
like
this.
Real time.
Kind of like a live stream, except none of you are here to interact with us. So we're going to anticipate your questions and just ask them on behalf of you. So let us know if we did a good job. Yeah, Steve's going to chat. He hasn't been here for a while.
No, I haven't. I've been I've actually been in Christmas mode lately.
Yes.
Very heavy Christmas
mode. We were
mode.
debating when we should set up Christmas.
Yes.
It should already be set up, shouldn't it?
That's true, but we've both been a little busy.
Been a little busy bees.
What are you doing? What are you drawing?
Yes. So sorry, because we had to do this again, now I have to reiterate what we already went through. But I'm doing a whole page of faces. I'm actually doing, this is kind of what you would call a study, and I want to study cute. I made a good joke and now it's old now.
Cute.
I'm on the pursuit of cute today. Sounds terrible saying it again.
But who's it old for? It's not old for them. It's old for us.
Because I just said it and now I feel so embarrassed saying it out loud again. I would never recycle a joke.
No, not you.
Just all my personal stories. Anyway, that's what we're doing because I'm currently loving look, this is not new, but I love all these different styles, but I've been blending a few together that I feel like really were fun for me. So Runa Naito from Virtual Voyage 4, if you remember that, kind of like the pioneer of kawaii culture. Also Mary Blair, love her. I've been doing
that makes sense.
A bit of Mark Davis.
Okay.
Classic Disney.
Yeah.
So a bunch of these things have kind of been crashing together in this format, and I just want to play with all the proportions and the placement of everything because I just want to see if I can shift it and bend it at will to create different effects, basically. So we already got started on something like this, but I think I'm going to bring her forehead out a little bit more for that Runa Naito style, that really big forehead.
So the Runa Naito is the forehead, and then the face is Mary Blair.
So this part of the face, this like kind of dip in here, and this heavy chin, is the Baby Ballet.
Oh, right,
from Mary Blair, which is an abandoned Disney short. Look, a lot of it can be from other places. Like, just because my reference is Mary Blair doesn't mean that your reference is wrong if you associate it with something else. That's the fabulous thing about style, is that, there's only so many ways we can draw this curve of the face, and, 25% of us are going to do it this way, 25% are going to do it more realistically. I don't do math, but like the rest of people are going to do it differently. You know what I mean? So there are definitely overlaps. In fact, I noticed a lot of that with studying Sir Quentin Blake and Tim Burton, which you wouldn't think, because like Roald Dahl, the BFG.
The proportions?
No, the approach and the technique and the the way that they both sketch,
right,
and some of like the particular nuances to how the pieces come together and the different patterning and textures and stuff was just really, really similar. So I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't really think it at first glance because he did for children's illustrations, right?
It also
and when you think
like a lot of scribbles too.
Yeah, with Tim Burton it can be super I'm not going to say adult, but like it's a little gory. I wouldn't have enjoyed it as a child. I mean, I don't really enjoy that subject matter as an adult, but
I do
admire
Tim Burton because a lot of there's stuff that looks like he just used like a pen.
Yeah, totally.
A ballpoint pen.
I mean, look, I love looking through Tim Burton's work, and actually love a lot of his movies as well, but a lot of the blood, guts, and gore, that's just never been me. Which, now that we've come out of Halloween season, I don't have to see until next year. I allow myself to embrace some of it throughout Halloween.
But we didn't really see too much blood, guts, and gore, did you?
What in the Friar Tuck is going on here?
I was going to say something about this little, like...
She hasn't got her hairline on, so I was thinking it was going to be a cute little bang, but without the rest of the hair, it's giving very toupee. Well, because when we're doing it last time...
Definitely looks like little, like, vaudeville toupee.
When we were doing the last session, Steve, the first video that kind of... What happened was the whole thing fell down, and rather than start again, I started again. You were asking if what I was drawing and if it was anything specific, like Disney or anything, and I thought, well, I'll make them all Ariel so that you'll be able to see what they look like with hair. Because sometimes the hair can be a part of the style too, like if it's really cute and short, or if it's got no shape to it, or if it's got lots of breaks and looks more realistic.
But so this is Ariel?
It might be a version of.
Or is it just a little girl?
I think it's just going to be a little girl with this hair.
She looks like the Oopsie Daisy girl.
These are just a page of studies. I shouldn't even be erasing anything. Anyway, what other subjects have you got for us today, Steve? Let's get this chat going. We don't know how long we'll be here for, but we're already 5 minutes in. Hope you're enjoying us.
Yeah. Subjects. I don't know. I mean, what are you excited for? Are you excited for the holidays? Do you feel like 2021 literally zoomed by? Because for me, once it hits Christmas season, I feel like the end of the year is here. Like 2021 is over. That's what that feels like for me.
It definitely feels like, yeah, like if you wanted to get anything else done in 2021, it's too late.
Right.
Like 2021's done now.
Is it weird to think that that we did Virtual Voyage 3 and 4 and 5?
That's the thing, because I was just going through my 5-year, looking at all the different events, and I was like, oh, did I really do that many?
Yeah.
And then in between, we did other stuff too. Like I've been doing lots of art journaling the magic. It always kind of surprises me when I look back at the whole year as a whole. Because when you're doing it bit by bit, you think, oh, this is really normal. Then you look back on it and you're like, whoa.
Like we did so many things.
Yeah, like how many costumes have we bought this year?
Too many. We had
Millions.
to actually get rid of some old ones.
Like poor costumes.
Will we ever use these costumes again?
You know me, I'll try and save it for scraps.
We have reused parts of costumes before, so
Totally.
That's true.
So see how I've now like shrunk the space between the eyes to the chin?
Okay.
I'm just changing the proportion and the placement. So I've pretty much done the first thing I did, except I've really squished in this bottom part. This is very Mary Blair, this kind of squishing. So it's less spaced out. This is already really exaggerated, but now we're really exaggerating that forehead. And I can wing out those ears a bit more.
What's it, those eyes? Are those, who's the he?
Yoshito Nara.
Yeah, that guy.
No. I mean, yes, I did color them all the way in, which the last time I did that, it was him.
Correct.
But it's not. I wasn't thinking. But maybe, I mean, look, the thing is when you start to study all these different styles,
They all start to blend together.
they all blend together and then they're all in your tool belt. So you may just be pulling them out and actually subconsciously referencing. But, you know, I'm a big believer in there's only so many ways you can do something. So it's inevitably going to cross over at some point.
Like a face is a face.
Yeah. And even if you're trying to copy it, sketch, like line for line, there's always something intrinsic about, like, something linked to the specific artist that there's just always a bit more of a tell. Like, you can kind of tell. Some people are really good at copying, but a lot of people only copy what's there. So it's not like they can copy work that doesn't exist yet. Right.
I think there's like a mimic and someone... Well, mimic and a copy is kind of the same thing, right? There's someone who can mimic the style.
I guess we're getting into really great... I can already envision the comments. Let's shut this down.
I know what you're trying to say. I'm having a hard time.
As someone who studies a lot of style, it all goes in there. And to be honest, my own thoughts about style, and I've shared this a lot of times before, but it's very subjective. So, and it's usually a lot to do with repetition and what people think is your work. Because if I show one specific type of work on Instagram every day for months, people start to think, well, that's his style, and then they recognize that from the work that I post. Reality is, like, and I think about this when I studied Mary Blair, a lot of the work that she put in that were put in the books on her behalf was work that was contracted by a company, Disney, to do something specific, like design, you know, for a doll or something, you know, or design a setting. So was that technically like her style? The way she did it, yes, there were certain techniques that she had, there were color palettes that she was great with, but, you know, would she say that was her style? Because how inherent is it that she would have this desire to design for a company that isn't even in her brain?
Right.
So I think style is very subjective. It's usually in the eye of the beholder. Because what I might think is my style, some people won't identify because they haven't seen me do it enough.
Or do you think that that's just her style when she does that type of work?
Yeah, and I think...
what does it look like if she uses a different medium or
totally. The medium can
she's
shift
in a different
it up.
Mood.
The medium can change it up. When you acquire a new skill, it can totally shift your style. If you become a really proficient illustrator, or even if you lose something, like if you lose time and out of necessity you have to draw quicker, maybe your style changes and adapts to that situation.
Correct.
So the style subject is really interesting for me, but in essence what I believe as artists is because art can be taught, it's a whole bunch of lines and wrist action, but as you learn to reference everything that you've learned before, because everyone's, you've seen it somewhere when we all start. It all goes into your tool belt, and you end up mixing it together in a big kind of melting pot of your preferences. So your preferences will honestly be like all the people that you enjoy watching over and over again. So it's not lost on me that a lot of people, kind of display all of those references in what culminates to be their style in the end. And if it happens to be a mix of Mary Blair, Tim Burton, Mark Davis, Rolly Crump, all these different things, that, no one particular of those artists did that.
Right.
So it does melt together to become you. And what I was saying, like, if you do end up just saying, oh, well, I love Tim Burton, I'm going to be a Tim Burton replica, even the way Tim Burton did it, you're not going to be able to replicate that. Even as much as you study his style and like get into his brain and know his techniques, know his methods, you can't create the new piece of work on behalf of him.
Right, only he can do that.
Only he can do that. So even then you start using your own brain, you're creating works that Tim Burton hasn't done. So can it be called copying?
No, but it's definitely inspired by. I
find it
even in photography.
Referenced. Yeah, absolutely.
I find it all the time.
How many poses can one human body do before people start to say, you stole my pose?
Right, or even just how many, like the tools, right? So
there's a lot.
How many ways can you position the light?
Right.
At some point, you'll find kind of, I don't want to say dead end. Dead end is the bad word, but I know what you're saying.
Well, I mean, and it's a tricky topic. I don't actually want you to think that it came out of nowhere. To be honest, that I don't know how that came about. Oh, because you were talking about Yoshitomo Nara. Yeah, some of those things are very subconscious, and I might not immediately jump to say, oh yes, I referenced that, I'm inspired by that. Reality is I was inspired by Yoshitomo Nara, especially through Halloween, but that's not who I was thinking of when I did it. It comes back down to the, and in our specific art journaling world, like, let's not go into real art licensing and copywriting, because, like, I just don't want to have that argument online. But the specific art journal reference that I always give is the who invented the black and white stockings. Because when I first got into art journaling, it seemed like you didn't do an art journal page unless there were black and white legs,
like the black and white stripes
on the striped on the page
like
somewhere.
The Wicked Witch of the East.
Totally. Now I think I first saw that referenced with Diane Reevely, or it might have been a Diane Reevely stamp. I can't really remember. But that's the thing. Like, how much do we really remember about information we've absorbed? Can you cite every joke you heard today and who said it? Of course not. You can hardly remember the joke.
I think there's even a rule in it, because it happens in music, right? Because there's only 88...
happens in comedy a lot too.
Right, and there's 88 notes on the piano.
Yeah, what's it called in music? Sampling?
Yes, sampling. There's a certain loop or amount of music, a certain amount of notes that you can use in a similar style to somebody else, and it can, I think it's, still considered original. Right. But if it starts to go beyond a certain amount of notes, that's when, I think that's the sampling thing. I don't know it too well as far as what the terms are, but that's when they start to get into a funny copyright area.
Totally.
Where you say, you copied me. That sounds exactly like this.
Look, I don't want to talk about the legalities of it all, but just the realities, I guess. It's a conversation that I enjoy having for people who are new, because, you can actually you can feel like it's a big, scary minefield when you first enter the space and you're trying everything. Like I said, when I saw the first black and white legs, I was thinking, like, well, maybe if I trace it back, like, who could I have seen it from? And the reality was I was following so many different people when I first got into it. I was looking at everybody's work.
But it also wasn't the first time you'd seen black and white striped
tights. That's where I get to. Eventually, once the story kind of clears up, and I'd seen it from this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, and this person's fighting with this person because this person said they invented it or they did it first, and this person said, no, she did it first, and I saw her do it first, and look at the timestamp on her Instagram post. Once all the fighting was done, I looked back and I thought, well, the Wicked Witch of the West. East. Oh, I always say that too. I get my stories wrong. But I don't like this one.
It's a little like...
You know what? We can just erase her.
A little like a clown.
I put all the features are too close together. That's why I love the wide set eyes. So yeah, the Wicked Witch of the East. That's when I saw it when I was a kid. And to me, those black and white stockings, no matter who does it, no matter where I saw it, will always remind me of the Wicked Witch of the East. Even if everybody else thinks that they come from some certain person's art journal, and that's where they're inspired by. Now, let's not get into a conversation of crediting and blah blah blah, because you know how I feel about those things. To each their own. I always say that. If you're following someone who cares about it, go for it. For me, you're so good. Copy every single thing on this page today. I don't care. But, a lot of people that I interact with aren't trying to sell something, so they never really cross that line. But you can feel like that because people do, over time, develop this really strong kind of connection to their work. And rightly so. You work at it. You work really hard. But that can also feel very vulnerable once they've shared it. They can feel like if someone else is trying it or having a go at it, even if they've been encouraged to like have a go, sometimes people start to feel like they're going to lose something that they've worked so hard at. When in reality, you'll always have it. Like, that other person is just breezing by. They're having a look at your collection of preferences that you've picked up from everywhere over your life. They're having a look at the things they might like. They will more than likely, if they like you, they'll try and adopt some of them because they like it, but then they're going to move on as well. They have other people to follow. We're in a digital age where we can follow hundreds and thousands of people every day,
which ultimately then leads to something like this, where you're creating deriving your own style.
And that's where it really goes. It's derivative, and then it's derivative again, and derivative again, and how many times can you derive something before you're like, okay, can I claim this now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's only so many ways you can draw a face.
And to my bigger point, really, and where I like to lead everyone in this conversation, if you don't need to claim it, don't worry about it. Just enjoy it. Huge companies, H&M, like people, Zara, companies that you're familiar with, Forever 21, will steal artwork and put it on clothes, and there's not much you can do about it. If you want to spend your whole life policing it, that is absolutely your prerogative. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I have had so much better luck just letting go of the need to, police everyone who may or may not be infringing what I believe is mine. I've heard horror stories of people being reached out to with, threatened legal action over things as simple as like a mix of supplies that they use. Like, I invented that technique. You better not show anyone that. And it's like, sure, you shouldn't go into a course, take the downloads and put them on your Etsy store.
Right.
Clearly theft, right?
Correct.
But, you can't claim a color combination. You can't go out there and say, well, if you ever do black and white spots on your image, I'm going to sue you.
Imagine Disney says that. Disney's
I know.
If you ever came back with black and white spots anywhere, then, I'm going to sue you because you're referencing Cruella.
But what is funny is, like, a company like Disney oftentimes becomes a bit of the example in this situation because they have tried to copyright things that are, public domain, or things that, are so broad that so many people would get in trouble. Isn't Happy Birthday copywritten?
I believe it most recently became a copyright.
Really?
Either that or it lost it. There's something around the copyright. Either it was or it wasn't. And then what I do know is that it's not public domain. Or if it is, it just became public domain.
I mean, you don't have to know, but I'm, to that point, like, just free yourself from that if you don't need to worry. And I always said to Steve, I was like, you know what, if I found someone had taken one of my images and used it on a greeting card, and they were selling so well, they were making millions of dollars, what on earth would stop me from taking the rest of my images and putting on my greeting card? Doing it myself? I mean, I don't have the backing of a huge company, so that's where that becomes a problem. But, if it was a huge company doing it, obviously. But at the end of the day, I try not to operate with that lack mentality, because I don't lack for a lot in this process, in this creativity. I find that there's always something else to try. There's always something new to have a go at.
Yeah.
There's always at least one person on YouTube who's, bright-eyed and bushy enough to let me try something.
Yeah, sure.
And I try to focus myself in those areas. This is such a no. I was trying to do the Yoshi Tomonada that started this whole conversation, and honestly,
and then it turned into Conehead.
The mix of things don't always work, but this is what we're doing. This is why I'm going for it.
There's some plastic on the ground.
It's funny because as I go, I start with something that I like. Like, I left that because I liked it, right? I didn't erase it. And then I go to the next one and I think, oh, I like that, so I keep that one. But then I decide, well, actually, I like this one better than this one. And then I go down here and I think, oh, do I like her better or this one better? It's so funny as you keep going. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to choose one at the end.
Do you have to choose one?
Yes.
Oh, why? Who says who?
The audience need to know.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you feel, look, we're talking about the conversation, why not have it? And we should say all of these opinions take with a grain of salt.
Yeah, because I might change my mind tomorrow.
They're not worth the paper I'm drawing on. But, and they're all our own, right? From our own personal experiences. I'm not going to invalidate your experience. I'm just going to share what I feel like is wisdom from my experience. Do you feel nervous if, like, do you feel nervous doing your photography if you feel like you've encroached on some specific style? Case in point, like, you reference Annie Leibovitz a lot.
A lot, yes.
And many photographers do, because she has a very iconic style, like dusty old couch.
Yes. Dusty old
mothball
couch.
sheet.
Yeah, dramatic with a gust of wind.
With
Yes.
a cardboard wind. So when you and everyone else and their dog is referencing that, does it feel wrong? Do you feel like Annie Leibovitz would see that and think, what are you doing?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't speak for her, but I guess at the same time, I don't think Annie Leibovitz is so concerned with other people coming for her gig because she is Annie Leibovitz.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I think I venture to guess that she's...
Her bag's secure.
Yes, she's pretty confident in who she is and what she comes with, because she is one of a kind. Even though we emulate her style, we see how she does it, and we try to copy it. At the end of the day, it is just her style. So, I don't know. I don't think she is sitting there trying to even gatekeep that. But that's my opinion. I don't know. I don't know her.
Girl boss, gaslight, gatekeep. Yes, Annie Leibovitz doing none of the sort.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see this as we're only trying to drown her.
Yes.
I don't think that either. Like, I don't think she's out there pressed for it. I don't think a red dress and a silver wig.
Well, the thing is that she has so much she has a reputation, right? And she's been photographed, or most celebrities have been photographed by Annie Leibovitz. So if in the Hollywood world or in the celebrity world, we operate word of mouth the way we do in the non-celebrity world, my guess is people are going to go with who they know. Do you know what I mean? Who's comfortable, who might be comfortable for them. They've seen her work. There's a vouch for her, for who she is and what she brings to the table. So I think she's pretty confident in what she comes with, is my point.
Sure. I mean, is it different if there's someone, because I've seen this on YouTube before, when there's a young creator and they become really popular on YouTube really quickly, and they've got a really short, quick, snappy style of editing, and they throw emojis over the screen every 2 seconds, and it becomes like an actual popular style of editing that a lot of popular YouTubers will then copy so that they can kind of keep up with the trend.
Yeah.
But you may say it's a trend, but that was something that person created, and they may see it as their particular style of video creation. Do you think it kind of changes as you get bigger? Like, do you think no one's afraid of Annie Leibovitz feeling that way because she's not in need of a client? But if it was someone like your friend, down the street, who is still kind of struggling to get going with photography, and they suddenly created this, version of a style of photo that everyone became really obsessed with, would you then think, well, you guys shouldn't be copying that?
No.
I don't think I would either.
I don't know. Pictures are pictures.
Is it a false equivalence? I'm not quite sure. We haven't planned this out, so bear with us.
We're kind of just, we're shooting from the hip here.
I know so much better than to do this online, but we're just being really casual today. I'm going to delete this video if it doesn't go well.
I guess my thing is, you know what they say, I'm going to bring it down to this. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is something in your personal style, and I'm saying the proverbial you, so to everyone listening, that attracts another person's eye, and they like it, and they want to emulate what you do, even before they ask your permission, if they even need to ask your permission, I would actually see it as a huge compliment.
You know, we were told, don't put it online if you don't want someone to copy it.
Sure, but I would also see it as a huge compliment. Like, oh, wow, look, that's really nice of them. That's great.
I personally, I felt flattered by it, for sure. People do actually ask me a lot, which I feel odd about, because usually I tell everyone straight up, you can copy this, I don't care.
Nobody asks me, though. Nobody asks me anything.
So I feel like maybe my message isn't getting out there. For learning, for all intents and purposes, if you're learning and you just want to follow along these videos and copy them and post your photos to Instagram and show everyone your progress, for sure. Please don't go into my course and steal all my content and create your own JLB Creative course. We can discuss that if you want to become a part of the team. But yeah, for learning, I really couldn't care less. This is probably the gray area that I wanted to address. I've always wanted to address it, really. And you know what? We might delete the videos, so let's do it. I found it to be very problematic when people who, and I've seen this happen many times, people who get really, really possessive over their quote-unquote style, that they feel very protective over, are also people who have encouraged others to learn from them. I find it a really bizarre thought.
It's a little contradictory.
For sure. How do you tell people, and in some cases sell the information, like in courses and in content? How do you sell it and then try to gatekeep it? Like, it's a very bizarre thing for me. I can't make everyone do what I want them to do. That's not how the world works. So I've had to live with that my whole life. But it feels wrong to me. Like,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
Because
if I felt so protective over a style I developed, I would never make a course about it.
No, you wouldn't sell it, and you wouldn't talk about it.
I probably wouldn't even show anyone.
No, correct.
Because if I felt that protective, I wouldn't want anyone to steal it. You know, and I get that people want to share it because they're proud of it, but like, and it's not right that people will go and steal your stuff and make money off of it. I get that. But
that's not what's happening.
But no, for that specific instance where people were trying to learn from individuals who would encourage them to follow them. And I find this to be a part of social media, that weird parasocial relationship, where I actually don't think they thought through what would happen if people were just following them and learning from them blindly. Because, you know, a lot of the times on YouTube, I'll hear creators say like, okay, love you guys so much, I'll see you in the next video. And Bianca, please. I've always had an issue with the love, like, I love you guys. You don't know these people.
That's so funny that you say that, because I understand the sentiment, but when I hear it, I'm like, it does always makes me like, I get a little secondhand embarrassment a little bit.
Oh my goodness, I get secondhand embarrassment all the time listening to. Sorry if you do that. I'm not calling you out. It's the other ones that do it. No, look, I'm just going to say from my perspective, I'm not that type of lovey-dovey person anyway. But to me, it would make more sense if people said, I love that you all follow me because of the opportunities I get from this.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate your eyeballs and views on my video. I appreciate the following that you guys provide and the opportunities I get from that. Or just, I appreciate your feedback and your encouragement, stuff like that. But a lot of the times with like really large, you know, popular YouTubers, they will engage in this type of parasocial relationship.
They almost instigate it.
They capitalize on it. And so I think a lot of the time you can almost be in that accidentally. No one gives you a handbook when you join YouTube and says, be careful you don't accidentally cultivate this type of following.
Right.
But if you're, you know, sharing art, which is a very personal experience, it's very, you know, people find it very vulnerable. Right. And then people are giving you lots of feedback. You feel very connected to that feedback. Sure. You know, when you get negative feedback, it hurts. So I think you inevitably do create this very odd relationship, and it's not that steep of a slope to get to. All right, guys, thanks so much. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. And then people are responding to some of that. So if then you're telling those people, I love you guys, oh, I need you to like buy my stuff or like do my course, and then you tell that same person that you've just told that you love because that you follow them, why are you doing my course and why are you putting my work all over the internet? It is such you get thrown for a loop.
It's like you feel set up
totally
for a situation. That really makes me uncomfortable.
You get totally set up for it, and you spend $700 to get set up for it. Like it's a lot. I'm not going to name names.
No.
I just write the name. Look, I'm just going to say...
not mentioning it, but writing it down.
It's always been on my mind, and I'm glad Steve's here to have the convo. It's just a discussion. What are your thoughts?
I don't think... I feel like it's a gaslight, isn't it?
I mean, I guess beyond, like maybe in the resolution stage, if you get into the fighting about it, but... It feels like a setup.
It feels set up. It feels a little backwards. Why would you put the way you teach on for others to purchase and to learn from, but then to get mad at them when they learn from it and they're doing it, but then by all intents and purposes, then you're not allowing them to share anything from that point on, because as their work grows and adjusts, will somehow has the potential to be a derivative of maybe something that they learned from you.
Right. If you even say like, hey, well, that face shape looks like the one I taught in my course, you can't use that. Like,
so then you could never in any way, shape, or form draw a face in that shape or something that looks similar.
Can I tell you one thing? I don't even think you know this, but it has led me to not do a workshop with someone before because I saw this interaction happen online. I came to know that this was a regular occurrence for this particular artist. And I was going to do, this was one of the first workshops I thought I was going to buy, because I was lucky enough to guest teach on some of them before, which I really love. Like Mindy Lacefield, loved being a part of those. Art Gelling the Magic, loved being a part of those.
Sure.
Very like peer-to-peer sharing type spaces, very open communities.
Right.
But this one I looked at and I was like, oh, I think I might want to do it because I really enjoy that style. I want to learn more about it. I saw that interaction and I thought, if I do this and I use anything that even looks like it came from the course,
kind of, even if it's a color palette too,
she could come from my business.
Yeah.
Steve's shocked, like I said, she. I didn't say a name.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a woman. Shock horror. Most of the art journaling community is female, so it's not a stretch there. But look, it happens. It's life. You know, the rest of the world operates with all their own problems too. If you've ever dived into TikTok for more than 10 minutes, I'm sure you've discovered a world full of drama you never knew existed.
Oh, and that's what's terrible. I always say, I didn't choose the drama life chose me.
Apparently there's an acrylic yarn drama going on TikTok. I haven't made it there yet.
What was that one meme that says that they were saying that there's some drama in every community in the world? Or what were they talking about?
I don't know.
Remember there was that video, and they said they thought that they saw, I don't remember what it was, but then it took a whole...
So I made it into, I think it was Bratz doll drama TikTok.
That's the one that I'm talking about.
Oh, really?
That's the one that, yes, you said it. Bratz doll.
So I'm not going to say the whole story, but it involved someone's ashes. Like, it was nuts. It was nuts.
I don't even want to say that's petty, because it's not petty. That's vicious.
I will never look at Bratz dolls the same way.
Those aren't the dolls that... No, the Bratz dolls, they're like the Barbies with the big heads and the big eyes.
And the huge snap-off feet.
Yes.
I got so mad. When I first got my first Bratz dolls, I loved them because they're so garish looking. They're like big old drag queens. And they had such cool clothes. And I got a bunch of them all at once. And then I realized that they didn't have real shoes. You had to snap off the whole foot. But they were wearing sandals. So I could never switch their feet because they all had different skin tones. So I was trying to put Chloe's shoes on Sasha. Sasha's got beautiful dark skin. Chloe's white as a ghost. Could not switch her shoes. Sometimes I put them on and be like, she's wearing beige socks.
Just to justify the change. Oh my goodness.
I know. They really got me, gal.
That's so funny.
I love the Bratz.
Do that anymore, do they? Do they still sell Bratz?
Yeah, they still sell them. I think they went out for a second, then they came back. Oh, also, because people have a lot of issues with dolls looking a little risky business.
Oh yes, sure.
Some of those ensembles are,
yeah,
for imagination.
Sure, for a night out.
But have you ever seen the LOL surprise dolls?
That's what I was thinking of. When you dip it in the water?
No, that's a Barbie doll color reveal. I was just watching that on Trixie Mattel.
No, there's the LOL dolls.
Oh, is there? They do them too?
Yes, if you put them in ice water or something like that, then there's some...
Kids' toys these days are nuts. You know, they have them and they're all like in slime. The whole toy is supposed to be kind of excavated out. And there's little bits and pieces in here, and you have to
get it out of the slime.
Yeah, get it out of there and pull it out of the slime and then pull this thing out of its belly. It's wild. I can't wait to get some of those for Elijah.
Crazy.
Speaking of, so I've been mentioning this, but I'm pretty sure I'll be going to Australia for Christmas. Cue the tears for Steve. Everyone send your violins in the emoji in the chat.
Please.
But I'm so excited because we get to buy our niece little girl things.
Little girl Christmas gifts this year.
Maybe some LOL surprise dolls.
I am sadly unable to go with James due to
this is payback for Italy.
Yeah, due to regulations and such. But I'm actually really happy that you get to go home.
Thank you. Look, I'm super excited for all obvious reasons. I haven't seen my family in years, which breaks my heart a little bit, but
yes,
we'll get to see them. We'll get to see our new niece.
You, not we.
I'll get to see our new niece. Is that odd? I should ask the chat that isn't live. Tell me in the comments below. We sometimes distinguish between which nieces and nephews we're talking about by saying my niece or like your nephew. But we both know, like, we're married. They're both of ours.
Correct.
But it's just to say it's on your side.
Correct. I think that's the
Is that normal
reference.
for people?
Yes, I think so.
I think it's normal, but I don't really know.
But when we talk about our nephews and our nieces, we mention them by name, so we know whose side they come from.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we have a new niece, and she's Gorgina. Her mother is my little sister. And Elijah and Savannah the age gap is 1 year difference between the age gap my sister and their mother and myself had. Yeah. And so
there's 7 years between you and your sister?
7 years between my sister and I.
And then 6 between
And there's 6 between those two. And he is just as obsessed with her as I was with Siobhan when she was a baby. So it's really funny to see all of that play out, you know, history repeating itself.
Like, he won't even leave her alone.
He wakes her up to play with her. It's bad. It's actually bad.
Like, wakes her up in the middle of the night or in the morning?
Like, whenever she's sleeping. And he wants to play. But Elijah's just, like, very, very excitable. You know what he's like.
And he just wants to hold her, really. He just hang out with her.
He wants to hold her, and he wants to be near her. He wants her to watch all of his shows. He just wants her around.
But she's like 4 months old.
Oh, yeah. She's tiny.
But she's way alert. Like, she's very alert and like...
Yeah, not like a mother was. Different orchard.
Oh, that's Moira Rose says that, right? Yes.
I don't know if it's just an orchard or like different tree. Or
it's something like same orchard, different tree.
But very that.
Yes. That's funny. What's this alien you have? This alien
I just thought it would be cute to have just all pupil, but it is very alien, isn't it? Yeah, extraterrestrial.
It's very Puss in Boots, Shrek.
Oh, yeah. You know, they have a face character, Prince Charming, at the Universal Resort in Beijing. I think the new one that just opened is in Beijing. And they have a face character, the
Fairy Godmother.
Fairy Godmother, and the Prince Charming from Shrek.
Is Shrek big in Asian countries? In the East?
By Beijing people, let me know.
Because, I mean, is Shrek a big deal here?
I don't... Look,
or
things
are
different.
Or did that phase out?
I haven't heard anyone, like, you know, going hard for Shrek in a while.
No, I mean, they were playing it at the gym the other day, and I thought, oh.
But I haven't seen a Shrek movie in years.
And I honestly don't think I've seen Shrek more than once. Maybe twice.
I've seen the first one a lot, because that was about my age group. But the rest, no. I don't think I've seen more than once, if any. I don't know.
Maybe in the theater one time. I don't know. I don't refer. That's not in my daily
She does not
like
have
Rolodex.
the vernacular. She thinks she possesses.
It's on my daily Rolodex of pop culture. Anything.
You can't just pull that one out?
Which one?
You can't just pull that out?
No.
You got 75 years of musicals under your belt, but not that.
I'm not sure.
Alright, I got one more. I got one more in me, guys. Oh, we've been on here for, what, 40 minutes?
Oh, wow.
It's a long conversation. So, I'm excited because we're going to buy her some cute Christmas things.
When are we doing that?
We should probably do it soon.
Yeah.
Because I am planning on going.
But not even that. I always find that I typically save everything for the last minute, and then it stresses me out when it's December 24th and the gift has not arrived yet. It's supposed to be there 2 hours ago.
Steve will send a card for someone's birthday the day before it's their birthday. Like, after 5 p.m.
So it gets there 4 days after their birthday. Hey, they can still celebrate.
And he'll be like, oh, I sent it before your birthday.
Literally. I mean, it's not, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
But I should, my hope is that all my shopping and such is done before December.
It's going to have to be, because I think we'll do Christmas before I go. Steve wants us to do Christmas when I get back so that I can go on a shopping spree in Australia.
Well, yes. But actually, no, really, I want both. That's
what I asked him. I was like, before or after? He goes, both?
Yeah.
You realize it works both ways, Steve.
I like a lot of gifts.
Well, there are some Australian gifts that you can only get in Australia, so that's hard.
Like Australian
He
gummies.
knows, Steve knows I wouldn't not give him something before I left. So he was trying to play that whole angle.
Yes.
Like, just do it when you come back. Because he knew I couldn't just leave without giving him something.
Well, when I went to Italy, I left a couple days before James's birthday, so I had to make sure that I got him his gift before.
Yeah, which I didn't expect. I was like, he's going to absolutely go to Italy and come back with something lemon-themed.
For his birthday.
For me.
Did I give you anything lemon-themed?
Yes. Postcard.
Yes. But then I also got you something.
Oh, you got me lots of gifts.
Yes.
I was not for want.
This is true. So.
Of an Italian souvenir.
Ugh, I want to go back. I'm planning it. I'm gonna make it happen.
Be one of those Instagram people that just keep posting photos. Take me back.
I'm going to.
You know, I had an issue with that. I've been on a lot of contracts. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of people, a lot of friends from all over the world.
But they say take me back now, but when they were there...
They were there...
They were like...
Girl, you can pay them enough to enjoy themselves.
They're like, take me back.
They
like
on the ship, take me off. Yeah. Afterwards, take me back.
back.
Take me out. Like, get yourself together. And it's always the same ones.
I know.
I'm telling you, the ones that enjoyed it the most, you don't hear a peep from them once they're done.
I know. The definitely the take me backs are the ones who hated it there and then regret it, and then they feel bad and have guilty feelings. So they think, well, maybe I can reconcile those guilty feelings by saying take me back. Yeah. Until they go back and then they realize that they hated it from the beginning.
I feel very gaslit by those posts because I start to question whether did I perceive them wrong. Go check out my Instagram. It's all like, take me back. No, I don't think I do any of that.
Do I post anything about take me back to anything?
I would have told you if you did.
I think I've just...
Can I just apologize, honestly, before we end this video? Can I say a sincere apology to anyone who says I love you to their audiences, who has ever posted take me back on their Instagram, who is offended by anything I said about copywriting?
Girl. What is happening?
We just got too candid. This is why I don't go live, but ironically, this is pre-filmed. You shouldn't have joined me today. Steve knew I was feeling naughty. You know what I like.
I didn't choose the drama life. The drama life chose me.
What if I'm just doing all this for views because I know AdSense goes up towards Christmas? Right. I'm about to become a drama channel, y'all. Oh. Mix art journaling with drama.
Oh my gosh.
I could do it.
No, well, yes. I mean, you can find drama everywhere, like I said.
I could do it.
No, and then there'll be reaction channels.
We always just have to remind ourselves that I'm a mystery.
Look, at the end of the day, we are actually very thankful to be here.
Totally.
We are actually thankful for the people, for all of you who
I just don't love you. Us. And if that hurts your feelings, I am sorry. But I can't love you. I don't know you like to love you. How many times do I say I love you to you?
Oh, it's when I get him a good gift.
So are y'all getting me good gifts?
Good gift, or I make him lasagna.
No, you guys actually do give me nice gifts, so I should be.
Yes.
I should be loving you.
No, we appreciate all of you.
That's it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, not because you're watching this. I do appreciate for that. But my main appreciation is that you make up a community that I enjoy being a part of.
Correct.
That's my very specific thing that I enjoy about people being here. Because without you being here, then I have to... Like, I did bumble around in communities before. Not to say that there aren't good ones, but I did have a lot of, like, negative experiences until I got to a point where I was like, I just can't be doing all of this. Like, I'm just going to start my own group, do my own thing, stay in my own lane, and see what happens there. And so this was born out of that, and that's what I'm very thankful for.
It's always nice to know that yes, it is like about creating a haven, right? A safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So, there you go. There are my little faces. If I had to pick, I'm really going in for this one. I like these two. What do you like? Steve's like, none.
I like her and her.
Oh, good.
Maybe that. I like this part of her.
Mm.
I like that part.
See, that's where you start, like, you're like, oh, I like this, so maybe I'll put those eyes on her and see what that's, you just go on forever.
This just doesn't have any lashes, so this looks very, like...
I was just thinking... Sorry, as you were saying that, I had the whole scene play out of Home Alone. Because I was like, oh, you could go on forever. I could go on forever, baby!
I don't know what that... Which one?
When he's...
Oh, the Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In the movie. But yeah, this looks a little, like...
Cheeks, bony babs, Cliff.
This is a little...
It's
like,
a lie.
Little...
It didn't help that I didn't give her much hair. I'll put little spots here. So she's an alien. She's just covering it.
It's definitely...
with a wig. A little wiglet.
You just need to give it, like, little antennas.
Yeah. Now she'd be really cute. She might be my favorite with little antennas. Go closer so I can hear that.
Me with my no voice right now.
That's really good. Alrighty. Thank you everyone for joining us. We had a blast. Don't take too much of this seriously. It's just us.
It's just us at 11 p.m.
We literally, we don't mean anything. I hope you had a great time. I am currently right in the middle of Art Journaling the Magic, so check out my Instagram for lots of posts about that. I'm even TikToking some of it, which ends up on Instagram anyway. So check me out on Instagram. Steve, do you want to plug anything? We love a shameless plug. Steve Lamona's Photography.
Steve Lamona's Photography is doing holiday mini sessions this weekend, so it's too late for you to book.
And I'll be there on Wind Machine.
Yes. Other than that, I don't know.
Well, if you ever do want to do an editorial shoot, usually I'm there. So
yes,
inquire with Steve.
I was actually thinking of trying to build an editorial shoot for the holidays. So we'll think about that.
For us?
Well, we're definitely doing one. We've already talked about that.
I never believe Steve until the costumes are ordered. I don't believe it.
Other than that, if you're visiting the Disneyland Resort at all, this holiday season, you can
look for the stripes on Main Street.
Yeah, stripes on Main Street. There most weekends, and yes,
great.
Just kind of doing all the things, and excited to be doing them.
Me too. Let's take a hard left into Christmas right now.
Holly.
Alrighty, bye everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.